badness of this material world to raise us towards the goodness of our heavenly stations. And with our durood, our salawats, our practices, our zikrs, all of that brings a nearness and dearness to the heart. And the only thing stopping the heart is the head of insan. What resides within the heads of people is the throne of shaitan, and that every movement towards the Divine is being blocked or countered by a thought within the head, and this becomes the great struggle. This is the jihad al-akbar, just to relieve oneself of the thoughts and the whispers that are entering within the head, and the sense of illusion and delusion that the head begins to present to the servant. This is the greatest struggle and this is the greatest battle. This is achieved through the zikr, through the tafakkur, through the contemplation. All of these energies are required just to silence shaitan, silence what he's putting into the head of thoughts and encouraging you to hear more negativity. Because when he wants to increase the power of his throne, what does he release? Again from the surah. And that's why he's trying to take the ownership of the surah, and we're trying to mimic Wajhik al-Kareem. When he wants to increase the power upon his throne, he begins to release the energies of the ears, and the servant begins to hear more and more bad. And they find the bad that they hear acceptable, means the bad of coming against tawheed, the bad of bad energy, the bad of bad desires. When he wants to increase again even more, he begins to affect their eyesight and inspires within their eyes begin to absorb what is not for you, what is not for your reality and what is of no benefit to your Divinely station. Knowing that the ears are the door to the soul. So when he brings an energy and he brings badness, he's putting a wall that blocks you from the access to your soul, in which the people begin to have no sense whatsoever, no empathy. They have no regret for what they do, as if they become soulless because they no longer have an access to the energy of their soul. When we tell you to listen and open up the power of hearing, what happens? The subtlety of your soul can be pulled out from the reality of your hearing. If your hearing becomes sensitive enough, means you have access to the soul. Just hearing the duroods, just hearing these salawats, hearing Qur'an can bring tears to the person because they have an access through their hearing to their soul. Shaitan is doing the reverse, making all the negative sounds so that they no longer hear and they no longer feel with their soul. And when he wants to increase them in negativity, he directs their eyesight. And when the eyesight is directed to that which is not relevant to the heavens, not of benefit to the heavens and detrimental to the heart and soul, they begin to look at things that are not appropriate. Why? Because he knows these are now the window of the soul, and he'll bring a darkness and a negativity to the heart. Because he knows the realities, he knows that the ears are connected to insan's soul and their eyes are connected to their qalb. And he doesn't want the qalb to be Baytullah, but he wants it to be Bayt of shaitan, to be his house. So he knows exactly how to attack the servant. And when he's come after their ears and he's come after their eyes, he gives to them from their mouth and from their breath to destroy their breath. We said before, when smoking was bad, vaping was 10,000 times worse, because the cold goes deeper, crystallizes on the lungs and kills the servants faster. And so many hospitals are filled with youth sort of doing things thinking that it's safe. It's not safe, it's worse. Cold smoke goes deeper into the lungs than the fire that you try to bring into your lungs. So he knows how to attack then the breath so that you never achieve nafas al-rahmah. Anyone taking a path towards Allah then they never put that stick of garbage into their mouth, because this is the waste and byproduct of shayateen. How could you send that to the tree of life when your lungs are supposed to be the breath of rahmah, and that your lungs are the reality of Sidratul Muntaha and the lot tree, that Allah gave everyone their own lot tree within their chest. And all of that was supposed to be nourished when you breathe to bring these energies onto the tree of life within your chest. And shaitan is attacking the tree of life and bringing destruction and disease to it until their tree is diseased and deformed and no more the breath of life can enter into that servant. And attacks their tongue with not appropriate food, not appropriate speech, and as a result their tongue becomes contaminated. So you see them begin to eat awful things. Most you look at these shayateens and their food are like the food of lizards and creatures. And as a result what comes into the mouth and destruction of the tongue, they begin to speak like animals. Because the tongue is no longer a representation of the heavens but is a representation of demon and demonic realities. So it means the servant of the heavens is trying to understand the throne of the Divine, which is the holy head. The reality of the head of insan, the head of Sayyidina Muhammad wajhika al-kareem is related to the Divinely throne. What the 2 years of Prophet here through his soul, in his soul reality, not physical. Physical was dressed by the soul reality, but in the world of light when we talk about the throne of Allah, the ears represent the powers that were described, the eyes represent the powers and the attributes that were described, the breath of Prophet rahmah, and the tongue from Prophet is the holy speech of Divinely Presence throughout creation. That nobody can hear Allah, only Muhammadun Rasulullah hears Allah, and as a result speaks for the Divinely Presence. Everything in our life was to inherit from this holy face. So the whole of this reality was to achieve the face of prophecy, the face of realities, the face of all blessings, and required that our heart to be clean and to be pure, and the heart to be for Allah, and to take the shaitan out and dethrone him from the heart of ourselves and our servanthood, and to serve Allah izzati wa jalalihi. And the only way to serve Allah is then to bring all of these realities of Muhammadun Rasulullah upon ourselves. We pray that Allah give us the strength and understanding, and that to come against our head to open up the reality of our heart. InshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun